I'm recording it. It's a video. Wayne said we're role playing. What's your role and who am I playing?
Well, if a judge looks at it,
No. What are we role playing? I want to do
we're
this.
role playing the fact that do they even have a case to come back at you?
Okay. I don't know what you know about my case or what I
Well,
don't.
if the case has been tried
Okay.
and then overruled in appeal,
Yes.
and then now you're going to retry it again, and this is no capital murder case.
No.
At some point, it's harassment
Yes.
because, for one, can you show me the summons that you sent? Because you have to be made aware that you're required to be in court.
They did not make me aware.
So there you go. All right, number one, they didn't make you aware that a warrant was even out, that you were even summoned to court.
No, and they knew where I was.
Okay. And they knew where you were, and they knew that taking you from here to there would be a hardship that would probably put you back in the streets. At some point, the onus is on them, not you.
Agreed.
Because they're going over and above the call of duty just to see that you have a hard time getting back on your feet.
Yes.
And as soon as you do...
And this is all being done at great expense to the taxpayer.
Well, it's being done not even considering expenses.
Correct.
It's being done carte blanche.
Correct.
Which is they'll spend anything.
Yes.
You haven't pulled a weapon on anybody.
No.
I mean, you haven't purchased a bunch of guns.
No.
It doesn't hold water.
No. But it doesn't have to, because it's a blind system that will just continue to churn you in and out and in and out. And all I am right now is a fish that escaped the net, and someone picked me up and they said, "Hey, you still want this one?" And the prosecutor said, "Yeah, throw him in." So then they threw me right back into the ring.
Well, now, if I was a judge that took a look at this, that prosecutor and whoever made the decision to bring that back in court would be looking for a job.
Yeah, they should be held accountable.
Because
but listen, I've been saying that since 2015.
Because the prosecutor and you and I both know have all these cases supposedly sitting on their table. All these cases. So yours is more important than all of the other stuff he's got out there, and he's already had one shot at it in court, and it got overturned, and he's still hacking at it? Come on. I mean, at some point you let it go and you move on to something more important. You've already had a shot.
No, this goes back to 2010.
You might be right. You
No,
right.
I beat them in trial with a medicinal cannabis case.
But the judge will look at that. I mean, don't you think? Isn't that part of what the judge is going to review?
But no, it hasn't been up to this point. I haven't had a fair trial. And that's what I'm saying. Somebody needs to look at what Clark County has done to me, right?
Sure. But at some point, somebody did when they reviewed it and overturned it. They reviewed something.
No, just in this particular case, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't. I need to talk to my attorney about having funds allotted for a private investigator.
And you may be able to figure out that there's an error right off.
No, that there is a pattern and track record of, corruption and discrimination.
It could very well.
So here's the deal, dude. They started, to allow shit to happen to me because they thought I was a druggie, right?
Well, they get people on their radar, and you're right.
So they allowed a lot of crimes to befall me, right? They didn't do anything about it. Then we started fighting back and forth amongst me and the cops, why all these other criminals just robbed me blind, and the cops wouldn't do anything about it, right? So they just kept on covering it up. And right now, I need them to look into what they've been covering up this entire time.
And what I was telling you is that's exactly what the Attorney General does. It's exactly what the position is of the Attorney General.
Yeah.
Because he's the top of the top. He's the top of the...
Well, that's what I'm saying we need to do.
And see, I was talking, and they have an office in Carson City, but it's not an office that the Attorney General's at very often. Mainly they're, I guess, down closer to Las Vegas, if they ever even get into either one of the offices. But I went to that office over in Carson City and got a couple of forms, because all you really do, it's a pretty simple form, it's just make a complaint. And when you make a complaint, that's when they look into it.
Yeah.
When you make a complaint, and a citizen that lives in Nevada being summoned back to a different state without ever being made aware of a warrant or a summons somebody's gonna. Then they have to answer some questions. They don't want to answer questions.
Yeah. Well, help me with that, because
You and I both know, and everybody's seen on TV, the last person that wants to sit there and answer questions is another attorney. That's why they talk in circles.
Yeah.
You can't pin them down anywhere. It's like a fucking fish. That's why they got the fish as the symbol.
Yeah.
They're slimy. I mean, wouldn't you like to be the judge of everybody? Everybody likes to be the judge. You know? Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
I appreciate your 2 cents.
Okay, like